Hi, I'm Holly Morrison. Welcome back to my kitchen. I know it hasn't been that long since we were last here. We were making bone broth last time, but today we are doing something that's not going to require cooking at all, but it is fantastic for your anti-inflammatory journey. I've been on that journey for a long time, and I keep learning things that are going to help me be stronger, feel stronger, and have my joints working properly. I would like to be working and operating as though I'm in my 30s, and I am obviously not in my 30s. I am in my early 50s. So I do all I can do to make my body work as strong as it can. And so today we're going to make turmeric milk. Some people call it golden milk. I just call it, it's delicious. So come on into my kitchen and let me show you how I make this lovely beverage and my little shortcuts of how to do it and make it efficient and cost effective so you're not wasting anything, and delicious. Okay, let's get started. We're going to go over to my sink where I've got my organic turmeric raw waiting on us to wash it up. So this is a pound of organic turmeric. I broke one open just so you can see the color. Isn't that just gorgeous? So we're just going to wash this up. It is organic, so we're not really having to wash off pesticides, thank the Lord. But we're washing off any dirt or any debris. This is a root. It is growing under the ground. Most of it's probably been knocked off by now, but here we go. So there is our gorgeous clean turmeric. And now what we're going to do is we're going to juice it. This is my juicer. It's a Green Star. It's my favorite. I have used a lot of juicers in my life. I've had a juicing business, so I know what good juicers are like. This is a twin gear. Fantastic. And we will put a link, and you can use your Smile Amazon account, and you can actually order things through our link and give Goshen a little bit of credit, which would be great. So we're just going to turn this on, and here we go. Watch for the color in this bowl. It will drip a little in this one because that's just kind of how turmeric will do. It's pretty juicy. You get a lot of bang for your buck. Isn't that gorgeous? And the smell in my kitchen already is amazing. It takes no time to juice a pound of turmeric. Just going right in, pushing it down. Now, the cool thing about turmeric, and it's dripping over here. I'm going to add that back in so we won't waste anything. But it does stain your juicer, and the only way I can get that off is to bleach it. I don't worry about it because my juicer's clean. But when color is that powerful that it can stain, it's really good for you. Beets are like that too. So we're almost done, about halfway through. Now, while I'm juicing this, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So once this is all juiced, it will make me about 8 ounces of turmeric juice. So a pound, which is 16 ounces, makes about, and there's very little pulp, not a lot. I don't even waste the pulp. I have chickens in my backyard, and I use the pulp, and I incorporate it into some fermented food. We'll probably do a video with that sometime later on how I supplement my chickens' food with ferments. But I always add my turmeric pulp back in there for them. So this is gonna make right at 8 ounces of juice, and I'm gonna freeze it. Now you can freeze it in ice cube trays. I don't like that personally because it's open to air. And here comes the pulp down there finally. Like I said, there's very little waste with this. Almost done, just a few more pieces. I freeze mine in these little snack Ziploc bags that I found, and I freeze it in a 1/4 cup. And that 1/4 cup will make me about 3 turmeric milks. All right, and that is it. I'm gonna actually add the pulp right back in one more time because there was a little bit of juice in here. That's my little trick of how not to waste. So I'm gonna push it all back in. That way we get every little drip out, every little drop. We paid a good amount of money. It's it's $10 a pound, not a dollar. Wouldn't that be awesome? If you grew it, it would be pretty cheap. All right, that is it. We're gonna turn this off. All right, so there is your turmeric milk. Gorgeous, and it smells amazing. I'm gonna let it drip just a little bit longer. You do not want this dripping on your counter because it will stain. I do have a light stain over there, but I've just about got it off. I keep working on it. All right, so it's gonna come on out. I'm gonna let you take a look at how beautiful that is. Just gorgeous. Well, I'm gonna show you how I store this. Like I said earlier, while I was juicing, you can store this. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. You can store this in ice cube trays, and once you've frozen it, you can just pop it in a Ziploc bag. That way it's not gonna be, I just have a lot of kids and husband and a teenager that goes in and out of my freezer, and I do not want this to be knocked over. So as I said, this is roughly about a cup of turmeric juice. I'm gonna pour it in my measuring cup. It's actually easier for me to pour it in my little storage bags from this. This is what I typically do. So here it goes in. Hopefully we're not gonna waste any of it. I'm usually a pretty good aim. Now, this is a blessing. We are over a cup, which never happens. So this was really some fresh turmeric, and that's why it was wetter. So, and I stirred it before I poured it in because as it sits, there's like just a little bit of accumulation of like part of the turmeric juice that sits at the bottom. So you want all that blended in because all of that is beneficial. All of that is anti-inflammatory. So these are the little food grade storage bags that I use. And the nice thing is, there's a little mark on there. It says a quarter cup. And like I said, this is perfect for me. So I freeze this off and then I just break it into thirds. And that's how I put it in my turmeric milk. All right, and that was a little bit of splash. That's real life. Here we go. All right, so we're just pouring in about a quarter of a cup to a bag. And again, that's what I have found that works for me. This is what I'm doing and that I enjoy. It's about 2 tablespoons per batch of turmeric milk. And when I mean batch, you're just making a beverage that you're going to drink. So there's that. And I will finish this up and I will get back with you and we'll get started on making the milk. Well, we've packaged up our turmeric juice, and that's right here. So mine's set up to go in the freezer. And once it's frozen, you don't even have to do it this way because these are freezer safe bags. So, but there's my cup of turmeric juice, which actually it made more. So I'm just gonna set that to the side, and then we're gonna come over here to the stove and we're gonna lightly warm up our raw milk. All right, so this is raw grass-fed milk, organic. It's fantastic, we love it, good stuff. But we want to lightly warm this up. So we're turning our stove on, and I've already measured off because this is the cup I'm gonna put my turmeric milk in. So this is, I usually just pre-measure it in the cup just so we don't have any waste. And we're just gonna put it right in the pan and just let it gently warm up. You can do this cold, it does not have to be warm. But we're in Kansas City and we have already hit record highs with snow. We beat Alaska apparently. So while this is warming up, I'm gonna just tell you a little something about why I do raw turmeric juice as opposed to powder. Most of the recipes I have seen for golden milk or turmeric milk has almost always been with turmeric powder. I personally cannot digest turmeric powder. I have indigestion and heartburn with it. I've taken turmeric supplements. I have the same problem. And a friend of mine introduced me to juicing turmeric juice, or juicing turmeric and making turmeric juice, about a half a year ago. And so I started doing that. I've had no problem whatsoever. I can drink this as much as I want with absolutely no indigestion. So apparently when it's processed, something happens. And I've even tried the liquid turmeric. But I know the benefits of turmeric, so I know it's worth fighting for. So I have fought for it, and here we are. So we are lightly warming up our milk. It is probably just about there. I had the stove already on just to have the pan kind of already warm, because we're just lightly warming it up. We do not want to bring this to a boil. We want to not even scald it because it is still raw. This whole drink is going to be raw. So we're keeping it as healthy and health beneficial for you as possible. So we're going to give this about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to turn it off. And depending upon how fast your burner heats up, and then we're going to come over to my blender. That's the way I do it, is I'm going to put my milk in the blender, turn it on, and add all of the rest of the ingredients that I put in to make it taste good, but also to make it a meal replacer. So I add quite a few other things, and I'll show you that when we get over there. So here is our steamed raw grass-fed milk going in. And we don't need that pot anymore, so we'll put that in the sink. And what I do is I turn this on. This is the way I roll. Don't pass out. I do have a lid. This is how I put a lid on. You're really not gonna need a lid on this because we're just gonna keep it on low. So it's on the lowest setting. And then this is what I'm going to add. So we'll add the turmeric last because I want you to see how pretty it is. Okay, so this is grass-fed collagen. There are lots of brands out there. This is the one that works for our budget. And we're putting a full portion in there of collagen. So that's going in. All right, I add organic fiber. Again, we're making a meal replacer, and this is really good for colorectal health. I'm an RN, yes, I use good for your gut. This is prebiotics. There's no probiotics in this. You can actually add probiotics to this if you wanted to. But we're gonna add a teaspoon of organic, this one's all the way to the bottom, fiber. Clear fiber, no flavor whatsoever. You can add this to a cold beverage, warm beverage, it doesn't matter, but it is good for your gut, good for preventing all kinds of GI problems, but we all are lacking in fiber in our diet. Now, I'm not gonna add this one initially because I want you to see the beauty of our turmeric milk. This is not what I did initially. I started adding organic cocoa powder for my husband, so he would drink it because he's not terribly fond of this whole drink, but it's good for him. So this is what I added, and now my kids will drink it if I put the cocoa powder in. So I'm not going to add that just yet. This is my key ingredient, pumpkin spice. Love it. There's no sugar in it. It's organic, and we're just going to add about 5 shakes. So right now, honestly, if you just drink that right now, that is so good for you. But we haven't even added the gold, which is the turmeric. All right, and then this is a medium chain fatty acid. It's high octane, bulletproof. I know a lot of people have heard of that diet, or not really a full diet, but it's just a way of adding collagen and good fats into your diet. So I love these little bottles because it just helps us not overuse it. This is really souped up, so you don't want to do a ton of this. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon. You can totally do more, but never do a lot initially because this one is like just it's coconut oil, but it's kind of jacked up. It's more powerful than just standard coconut oil, and it's a liquid, so it's really great to add into here. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is add sweetener. I actually normally add stevia, but my really good friend Leslie, who is part of our Goshen team, Adam's wife, Adam's our videographer right there, she did it with maple syrup one day when I was at her house, and I brought my turmeric juice over and I made it at her house. So she added maple syrup, and we're gonna add about 1.5 teaspoons. This is roughly a tablespoon, so I'm just gonna fill this about halfway. That might be a tad more than halfway. Nobody's gonna complain about that. Okay, all right, and then the last ingredient is the turmeric juice, and I want y'all to see the effect of the color on this, so I'm gonna actually turn this off, and we're gonna soil a cup just so you can see the color. So this will end up going in my mug to enjoy it. So I'm gonna pour this in. The only color you're seeing in there right now is the pumpkin spice, but my kids are super impressed when we add the turmeric juice to this. And we'll stir it up because it kind of settles, turmeric juice does. All right, so there's our first tablespoon. I'm gonna move this over a little. I don't want to drip it on my counter because it's always fun to get this off. I don't know if it's showing on that side or not. We're gonna do a little swirl in a moment. And there's your second tablespoon. You can add as much as you want, obviously. And let's just give a little swirl so you see the change in the color. And here comes the gold that everybody talks about with turmeric milk. And there it is, nice and golden. Very pretty. Smells amazing, tastes amazing. I'm gonna pour it in our mug, make it pretty. We eat with our eyes first. I'm gonna pour that in. Oh wow, look at that color, it's so pretty. And then and you can actually do this on high in your blender and it will actually make foam. So if you enjoy foam, you can totally do that. And then I just add a little sprinkle of pumpkin spice on top, but mine's almost empty, so it's not wanting to come out. And there is our finished beverage. Lovely, warm, golden, raw, living turmeric milk. A meal replacer full of amino acids from your collagen and fiber, which is gut healthy, prebiotics. Turmeric is only going to do good in your body. Your body is going to just be really pleased with your choice to do this. This is a wonderful morning beverage. So if you're trying to sub out coffee and get that out of your diet, even though I think coffee is great, this is a great way to begin your morning, is with raw living turmeric golden milk. Well, thank you for joining me in my kitchen as we were exploring all the goodness of raw turmeric juice and how to make raw turmeric milk. Please hit subscribe so you can continue to follow us, and hit the notification bell so that you'll find out when we have new videos. Please give us a thumbs up and feel free to give us some comments below, and we'll get back with you as soon as we can and answer any questions that you have. Thank you for coming into my kitchen.